1981, a movie studio built an alien monster costume so unsettling that theaters actually refused to show one scene. Which movie was it? Stick around, because it's on this list, and the story behind it is even stranger than the film itself. Space movies today follow safe rules. Big studios test everything with focus groups. But the 1980s had no rules. Directors had wild ideas, tiny budgets, and total freedom. The result? 10 space movies packed with weird monsters, strange planets, and stories nobody would greenlight today. Let's count them down. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're covering 10 forgotten sci-fi gems, and you won't want to miss a single one. 1. Galaxy of Terror, 1981. This movie sent a rescue crew to a mysterious planet, and things got strange fast. The film's most famous scene involves a giant worm-like creature. It's considered one of the most unusual moments in horror movie history. Studios today avoid this kind of content completely. The film had a tiny budget, but big ambition. A young director named James Cameron worked on this movie before making Titanic and Avatar. He helped design sets and special effects. The movie's dark tunnels and glowing rock formations still look impressive for its time. Critics were divided. Some called it intense. Others praised its creative visuals. Either way, Galaxy of Terror became a cult classic. Fans still talk about it decades later. It proved that a small crew with big dreams could create something unforgettable, even with almost no money to spend. 2. Inseminoid, 1981. This British film took space horror to an extreme level. A scientist on a distant planet becomes affected by alien technology, leading to frightening events for her crew. The film was banned or heavily cut in several countries because of its intense content. Despite the controversy, Inseminoid found an audience. It became known as one of the most surprising space movies ever made. The special effects were simple, but the tension felt real. Actors gave committed performances despite a low budget and short filming schedule. Modern studios avoid this kind of extreme content. Rating boards are stricter now, and advertisers want family-friendly material. Inseminoid remains a snapshot of a wilder era in filmmaking, one where directors pushed boundaries without worrying about corporate approval or advertiser backlash. 3. Life Force, 1985. This movie had a massive budget for its time, over $25 million. That's surprising for such a strange concept. Astronauts discover ancient beings on a comet near Earth. When brought back home, chaos erupts across London. The visual effects were groundbreaking for 1985. Director Tobe Hooper, famous for horror films, brought his unique style to space storytelling. The movie mixed science fiction with vampire legends. Critics called it ambitious but confusing. Audiences weren't sure what to expect walking into theaters. Even though it didn't succeed financially, Life Force gained a cult following over the years. Fans appreciate its bold ideas and impressive practical effects. Today's studios rarely fund such an unusual mix of genres. Investors want predictable stories, not risky combinations of vampires and outer space invaders. 4. Battle Beyond the Stars, 1980. This film borrowed its plot from a classic Western story, but set it in space. A young farmer recruits alien warriors to defend his planet from invaders. It sounds simple, but the execution was creative and colorful for its era. Roger Corman produced this movie on a limited budget, yet it looked impressive on screen. The spaceship designs were unique and imaginative. Composer James Horner, who later scored Titanic, created the film's memorable music before becoming a Hollywood legend. The movie influenced later space films with its mix of humor and adventure. Actors like Robert Vaughn brought charm to their roles. Battle Beyond the Stars proved that clever writing and creative design could overcome a small budget, something modern blockbusters rarely need to worry about anymore. 5. Star Crash, 1978, popularized through the 80s. This Italian production tried to capture the magic of Star Wars, but with its own wild twist. A smuggler and her partner battle an evil emperor across the galaxy. The costumes were colorful, the effects were basic, but the energy was undeniable. Actress Caroline Munro starred alongside a young Christopher Plummer and David Hasselhoff. Yes, that David Hasselhoff, years before his famous television roles. The special effects used simple techniques, but fans loved the film's fast pace and imaginative universe. Critics often mocked Star Crash for its low-budget look. However, over time, audiences began appreciating its charm and creativity. It became a beloved example of low-budget science fiction done with genuine passion. Modern studios rarely attempt anything this experimental, preferring safer and more polished productions instead. 6. Space Raiders, 1983. A young boy accidentally joins a group of space pirates on a dangerous mission. This family-friendly adventure mixed action with heartwarming moments. Interestingly, some special effects and spaceship footage were reused from the earlier film Battle Beyond the Stars to save money. Director Howard R. Cohen created an accessible story for younger viewers while still including exciting space battles. The film's tone balanced danger with humor, making it enjoyable for kids and their parents watching together in theaters or later on home video. Space Raiders wasn't a box office hit, but it found new life through television reruns and video rentals. Many kids from that generation remember watching it repeatedly. Today, recycling footage this way would be unusual, since studios now demand fresh visuals for every single production, no matter the budget. 7. Creature, 1985. Sometimes compared to Alien because of its similar plot, this movie followed a crew investigating a distant moon where something dangerous awaited them. The creature design was genuinely frightening, and the tense atmosphere kept viewers on edge throughout the entire 80-minute runtime. Filmmaker William Malone worked with a modest budget, but delivered strong tension and thrills. The practical effects, created without computers, still hold up surprisingly well today. Many fans consider this an underappreciated gem, hiding in the shadow of bigger space horror franchises from the same decade. Studios rarely make movies like Creature anymore, because bigger franchises dominate the horror and science fiction space. Original concepts struggle to find funding when audiences expect sequels and remakes. Creature represents a time when smaller creative teams could still tell complete and satisfying standalone horror stories. 8. Forbidden World, 1982. Another entry from producer Roger Corman's studio, this film combined science fiction with intense creature horror elements. A genetic experiment goes wrong on a remote research station, creating a dangerous creature that threatens everyone aboard. The film was made incredibly fast, in under 3 weeks total. Despite the rushed production schedule, Forbidden World developed a reputation among fans for its intense pacing and unforgettable creature effects. The filmmakers reused sets from other Corman productions to save money, a common trick in low-budget filmmaking during this creative and resourceful era of cinema history. This movie represents everything modern studios avoid: extreme content, rushed schedules, and reused materials. Yet somehow it worked, creating a memorable experience for genre fans. Streaming services today prefer polished, expensive productions over these scrappy, creative experiments that defined much of 80s genre filmmaking, for better or worse. 9. The Ice Pirates, 1984. This one mixed comedy with space adventure in a way rarely seen today. Set in a future where water is the most valuable resource in the galaxy, pirates steal ice to survive. The story combined jokes, sword fights, and spaceship battles into one strange, entertaining package. Robert Urich led a cast that clearly had fun making this movie. The tone stayed lighthearted even during action scenes, blending genres that usually don't mix well together. Critics were mixed, but audiences appreciated its willingness to not take itself too seriously, unlike many serious space epics from the same era. Modern Hollywood struggles to fund genre-blending comedies like this one. Studios prefer movies that fit neatly into one category for easier marketing. The Ice Pirates broke those rules constantly, mixing slapstick humor with genuine science fiction concepts. That risky combination made it memorable, even if it wasn't a massive financial success at the time. 10. Mutant, 1984. Also known by another title in some countries, this film mixed zombie horror with small-town drama. Two brothers arrive in a quiet town only to discover residents turning into aggressive, infected creatures after exposure to toxic waste buried nearby by a careless company decades earlier. The movie built tension slowly, focusing on characters before revealing its frightening creatures. Wings Hauser led the cast with a serious, grounded performance that helped the strange story feel more believable. The special effects team created startling transformations that still unsettle viewers watching today, decades after its original theatrical release. Mutant blended genres in a way modern studios rarely attempt. Combining environmental themes with zombie horror felt fresh for 1984. Today, franchises dominate this space, leaving little room for original standalone stories like this one. Mutant remains a hidden gem, waiting for horror fans to rediscover its slow-burning, genuinely chilling atmosphere. These 10 movies remind us that creativity doesn't need a huge budget, just bold ideas and fearless filmmakers. Which one are you adding to your watch list tonight? Drop your pick in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more forgotten movie treasures every week.